it's Melanie. Happy Tuesday. So today's video is actually a video that a number of people have requested, and it is an update on what happened to my lashes after I quit using the Rodan and Fields, I think it's called the Lash Boost Serum. So back when I lived in my old house, one of my girlfriends was selling Rodan and Fields. Who doesn't have a girlfriend selling Rodan and Fields? And I was helping her with her flowers for her wedding, and it's just kind of like a little thank you gift. She gave me a bunch of samples of Rodan and Fields skincare stuff, and then she also gave me a like a vial or a bottle of the Lash Boost Serum. So it was like under no obligation to like buy anything from her. It was just one of those things where we were sitting down one day and I was helping her with her floral order. We were going through all the flowers and trying to pick what she wanted in her bouquet and all this stuff. And afterwards she was like, hey, so I started selling this stuff. Here, just take a bunch of it. I know you really like skincare. Let me know what you think. And here's this Lash Boost Serum. Apparently it's supposed to be really, really good. So I took the stuff and I kind of tested out the skincare right away, and honestly, it just didn't float my boat. I don't know, I don't even think I ever talked about the skincare stuff on my channel. And then the Lash Boost Serum, I actually just kind of put to the side because at the time I was using my usual, which is Rapid Lash. And that has always worked really well for me. And so I was like, well, I'm not gonna open this, you know, Rodan and Fields stuff while I'm still using the Rapid Lash. So kept it in my medicine chest for like a couple months after she gave it to me, and then finished up my bottle of, or my tube of the Rapid Lash, and then opened up this fresh tube of the Lash Boost from Rodan and Fields. Started using it. Immediately I noticed that my lashes started becoming very sparse. Like I was noticing some significant lash loss, which kind of blew my mind because I was like, what is happening? I've never had that happen with the Rapid Lash. And I noticed that when my lashes were growing in, they were growing in really funky directions, and they were like curled. Like my lashes literally like looked like hooks in certain areas, especially like the outer part of my lash line here. And then on my inner corner, my lashes were kind of like growing like in a weird direction as well. They kind of started growing a little bit more like down. I've been really lucky my entire life. I've never had to use a lash curler. It totally spaced my mind what they're even called, because I've never had to use one. My lashes have always like grown in this like nice swoopy upward direction, which is great. So when they started growing in weird directions and in weird shapes, I was like, what is happening? And it took me a little while to realize that it was the Lash Serum. And so I got a hold of my friend Tracy, and I was like, what is going on? And she was like, I don't know, you know, I've had a few people say that, you know, it shouldn't be a big deal. Just, you know, if it's not working, then just stop using it. You know, it was basically no skin off her butt. She was like, meh, you know, didn't work for you, so just stop using it. So, I basically, after a few weeks, just stopped using it. And then I did my video about my experience, and I got, there were a lot of people who said they had the exact same experience as me, and then there were the people who were Rodan and Fields consultants who said, there's no way that our lash serum could have done that to your lashes. It is the most amazing product that has ever been on the market for lash growth. And you know, just, it was like, they were coming to defense of the product, and I fully expected that. I mean, but it was like a barrage of like people that were basically saying that my experience didn't happen, so implying that I was lying about it. I was not. My lashes looked terrible for months after. So I stopped using the serum, you know, after I did that video, and I got a lot of very specific questions about especially from people who had the exact same thing happening. How long did it take your lashes to return to normal? Did they ever return to normal? Did you ever try the Rodan and Fields Lash Boost again? Did you just get a dud? You know, there were all these questions. So basically today is just, this is a video that I'm gonna be able to attach to that original video so that the questions are answered basically. So after I stopped using the lash serum, my lashes were in rough shape for a few months afterwards. It took probably about 4 to 6 months, I would say, for them to really truly return to normal. They, for a while, were still growing in funky, and it took the areas where I had some lash loss, it took those areas a little while to kind of return to like their normal growth. But eventually my lashes did go back to normal. So I will say that the damage from the Rodan and Fields Lash Boost was not permanent, which I didn't expect it to be. It was frustrating during that time though, trying to figure out like how to make my lashes look as normal as possible. I never resorted to false lashes or anything like that. It would have actually probably been impossible for me to put a strip of lashes on anyway, because the lashes in this outer corner here were so curled in so tightly that I couldn't get a lash band down to my lash line, if that makes sense, because the lashes were essentially in the way. So every time that I would try, like I would get the glue caught on those lashes and I would just give up. So it was frustrating. I just tried to work with mascara as much as I could to try to like straighten them out. I did use a couple times a waterproof mascara, and once I like got it on my lashes and sort of like held the lashes out in this direction, like they kind of froze in place, if that makes sense. But it was frustrating and it took several months, but my lashes did return to normal. So those of you, if you are currently going through this, because I'm still getting messages, I actually have people that have emailed me and said, oh my God, I had the same thing happen to my lashes. Please tell me yours went back to normal. Please, you know, tell me that this isn't gonna be permanent. So there have been people that have reached out via email in the comments section, as well as like on Instagram. It's just, there are people who just have had a bad reaction to that lash serum, and that's okay. I'm not saying that's okay. It's not okay for that to happen, but I think it's important to know that not everybody is necessarily going to have the exact same experience with a product. And, you know, I don't think there needs to be like a freak out about that. It's just, some things work for some people and then for others it doesn't work. I have certainly seen lots of before and after pictures from consultants who, you know, say that this lash growth that they have is as a result of the serum, and I don't doubt that, because I myself get amazing lash growth when I use my favorite serums. So these are the ones that I have, well, this one I always go back to. This one's a little bit newer to me, but this is my latest tube of Rapid Lash. I do put this on as the last step of my skincare routine, and so oftentimes I have like different types of acids on my fingers, or like retinol and stuff, and so I have actually like rubbed off most of like the label on mine. But I have bought these, I've always done this. I go on the Costco website and I order the 2-pack for like $49.99. Now I was recently on Costco.com looking for this and I didn't see it, so I'm hoping that it's gonna come back in stock. But worst case scenario, I can also pick this up through Ulta. The only thing about Ulta is it's $49.99 for a tube, just retail price. And at Costco, I can basically get buy one, get one free, which is why I usually do that. So Rapid Lash has worked incredibly well for me. In fact, once I gave my lashes for a break for just like a couple of months, I returned to using my Rapid Lash and my lashes grew in really nice and I wouldn't say full, because there's no lash serum that has ever made my lashes fuller or thicker, if that makes sense, but it does make them longer. the way Rapid Lash works is basically like most other lash serums in that it conditions the lashes and helps them stay attached longer. And when lashes don't shed, they have an opportunity to grow longer. So that's how you get your longer lashes, is they basically stay attached longer, but eventually your lashes do shed. Now, the shedding that I noticed from the Rodan and Fields was significant. It was like clumps of lashes coming out, and not even like long lashes, which is what happens with this when they start to cycle out. It was like my shorter lashes were falling out. And this, once my lashes sort of reach a certain length, their life cycle is done and they do, they go away. But if I continue to use this, they grow back much faster and back to that like really nice long lush length, if that makes sense. But thickening, this has never thickened my lashes. Another lash serum that I've been using that also works really well is this City Lash. This one I believe is, I think it's like $65 to $70. So again, none of these lash serums are ever inexpensive. I want to say that the Rodan and Fields is, I think it's one of the more expensive ones. I want to say it was between $100 and $150. And had I paid that amount, like had it not been gifted to me, I would have been furious, especially based on what happened to my lashes. So I can only imagine the people who like bought the product and had the same experience as me, just being like irate. Because I don't know that there is a return policy with Rodan and Fields for things that don't work for you. I'm not sure. My friend stopped selling the product. She was never really that into it, to be entirely honest. I think one of her friends like got her into it, and Tracy's just not a sales person, so I don't even think she's selling the stuff anymore. But yeah, back to the City Lash. This works really well as well. This has like a brush tip applicator to it. This tube is almost done. And this one has like this plastic that it's just, oh, because I just flipped that everywhere. It's just like this little like plastic piece, and you just run it along your lash line. This is the easiest thing that you can do to help condition your lashes, because you just brush it on at night right before you go to bed, and then that's it. Like I don't use it twice a day. I only use stuff like this once a day at night, and that's it. But both of these have worked really well for me, and I've never had the reaction with these that I did with the Rodan and Fields. For a while there, I was seeing some information popping up about lawsuits regarding the Rodan and Fields lash serum. I never really followed up with that stuff, mostly because I just got busy and got bored and just kind of lost interest after the video, and after my lashes came back in, I just kind of wrote it off. So I don't know if that ever went anywhere. I think it was supposed to be like a class action lawsuit. Some of the ingredients apparently were not necessarily approved for use in like over-the-counter lash serums. I don't know all the details of that, but you could certainly Google it and look it up. But anyway, the moral of the story here is that my lashes did return to normal. It took a few months. I never got another tube of the product. I don't know if I got a bad tube. I don't know what the deal was, but it just didn't work for me. And there were plenty of people who it also didn't work for. So, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. I never noticed my friend's lashes being crazy long, so I don't know if she just didn't use the product herself or what the deal was with her. But yeah, for me, it was just not a good product. So even though, there were, I have even since doing that video have had people reach out with, hey, I'm a consultant. Can I send you like some skincare? Can I send you, whatever, just to be able to try and, all this stuff. And when it comes to the Rodan and Fields stuff, I'm just automatically like, no, I don't want to touch that anymore. That video definitely, I got a lot of heat for sharing my experience about the lash serum, and it just kind of honestly turned me off on the brand. The fervor with which Some of the consultants came after me was just, I mean, it was like impressive. So I actually have the, on that particular video, I think I have the comments like filtered. So I have to go in and like go into my like comments to review section on YouTube to like approve comments. And typically if something comes in from like a consultant or something, then I'm just like, I'm not even gonna approve this, because you know, saying that someone's experience isn't valid just because it doesn't line up with what you experienced, it just, that's not what YouTube is about. Like, people come here to see a wide variety of experiences and feedback, and then people can go back and make their own informed decision about whether to purchase something or not. Like, you have to kind of weigh all the good, all the bad, and then figure out for yourself, like, do I want to spend money on this thing? Like, and that's really what my channel is all about, is just sharing my experience, and I never pressure anyone to buy anything or anything like that. Like, it's just, I like using a lot of different things and then sharing my thoughts with you guys, and if it's great, that's great. If it's not, that's fine too. It's just my experience. So anyway, I hope this was helpful for those of you that were wondering about what happened to my lashes in the long run. My lashes are fine. They just took a while to go back to normal, and now they are normal, and this is what I use. This is what works. I'll link both of these down below if you're interested in them. You know, if you have a lash serum that you highly recommend, put it down below in the comment section, and that way people, you know, if they haven't heard about it, they can maybe go read up a little bit more about it. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch today, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.